The announcement was welcomed by the international financial institutions, and the stock markets rallied worldwide. The Greek parliament successfully concluded a historic bond swap with private sector creditors last week. The plan scaled back on $140 billion worth of Greek debts, which would prevent the country from defaulting by March 20th. The measure paves way for the release of remaining controversial bailout funds from the European Union and the IMF. The $170 billion rescue package, made possible by the deeply unpopular austerity measures and now the bond swap, is expected to be finalized in April. By then, the last of the $26 billion worth of bailout funds will be released. The government declared once this happens, new elections can take place. Eurozone ministers hailed the move, calling it a second chance to rebuild the country's shattered economy. But outside Parliament, Greeks say their lives have been shattered by the decisions of their lawmakers. Many express deep pessimism that the government cannot fix the economy and is the sole perpetrator of their economic miseries.
I was working in 2 jobs all my life. I was making houses for our children by myself, by my hands, brick by brick, and they come now and they ask me to pay for what? Whatever happened here is crazy.
Oh, come on. I'm very tired of that, you know, every day. The thing is that they're liars. It's working people that pay for that. We cannot accept that continuous decreases in our salaries be the key of progress. That's ridiculous. And I've never seen any bloody financial check to show what happened with the assets of the politicians. We're talking about billions. When will these criminals will be judged for treason and looting of public wealth?
Like all countries, Greece was hit hard by the global economic recession of 2008. Popular uprisings against the government started in 2009 and intensified by 2010 as public spending was cut drastically under pressure by bond collectors and Eurozone leaders.
These measures have been taken in other countries, like Portugal, like Spain, like Argentina, and already there is a history with this kind of measure. And all these countries are not better.
Public anger towards the government's fiscal actions usually result in massive demonstrations and police violence. The walls of the city speak clearly of the popular resentment towards the government's austerity measures. Protests here in Greece kicked off 6 months before the revolts on the opposite side of the Mediterranean, while people of the Middle East were calling for freedom, social justice, and equality. The Greeks had been doing the same, but their anger was mainly directed to fiscal policies. Such reflections can be seen in this graffiti. Words like monetary system, globalization, and the most hated of them all, capitalism.
Capitalism makes us what we are now.
In central Athens, business seemed slow but moving. Consumers purchasing discounted goods shop amongst the homeless. The police, who have been villainized by protesters as protectors of the bankers, litter the commercial district. Some banks, still bearing the scars of the latest violence, stay boarded up in fear the deliberations taken by the politicians could unleash unrest yet again. Surrounding Parliament, signs of economic hardships and poverty permeate the city. This is what an economy in shambles looks like. Stagnation is palpable. Countless neighborhoods resembling ghost towns go on for miles. Abandoned and closed down businesses and shops line entire streets. Boarded up homes have become safe havens for squatters and the homeless. Scenes from the developing world are now common on the streets of Athens. The shops which do stay open rarely see customers. An ambiance of fear, insecurity, and hopelessness seems to invade daily life. It's hard to avoid despair, says Dimitri, a small business owner.
It becomes worse. I don't know where it will stop. Maybe we'll close our shops. Maybe we'll work for less money. I don't know what will happen next. People don't have money to buy anything.
Dimitri, like many Greeks, distrusts the government and believes the latest economic measures will do nothing for people suffering through the crisis.
I support all people who protest against the government because I have seen nothing better from them. I don't know if they don't know their job or they are in the plan to make it worse.
Dimitri doesn't expect to keep his store open for long. The statistics reveal the deprivation. The Greek Retail Federation reported 68,000 small businesses closed in 2011, laying off tens of thousands of workers. Perhaps more startling is the jobless rate. Unemployment skyrocketed in Greece from 7% in 2008 to 21% by the end of 2011. Half of the Greek population under the age of 25 are jobless. Out of a population of 10 million people, over 1 million are unemployed.
We are living the new age fascism.
These young men are without work and see a grim future ahead of them.
All promises, but no action.
They have a well-organized plan to...
The system is breakdown.
Amongst the unemployed are the homeless. News reports indicate homelessness in Greece increased by 25% since 2010. Those surviving on the streets of Athens include many immigrants from all walks of life.
I mean technician, diploma, because no work. All go factory, industry. Tell me, no what.
The latest austerity program implemented last month would cut nearly 15,000 civil servants from the payroll this year, reduce the minimum wage from $5.50 to $3.50, and reduce supplemental pensions and private sector bonuses. State-run public services are also to be shut down throughout the year. Thousands are expected to be laid off. Some believe what is happening to the Greek economy is part of a broader plan.
Papadimos were a banker in the European Bank. Okay, yes. So they put him as president to make their plans true, to happen. So what we can expect from him?
I'm talking about the politician. German, English, French, American, they make us poor.
Greece has now become the first European country to undergo the IMF's notorious structural adjustment program. For decades, the programs have been imposed on developing countries with disastrous consequences, often resulting in greater economic hardship and social upheaval.
So there's basically, as you know, a recipe. Cuts in public spending, privatizations, changing in labor relations, severe wage cuts. It's a problem of democracy. It's not only a problem of economics. It's not only a problem of deepening existing inequalities in a society that you also witness the presence of the police is everywhere. In the society where going to a protest is like going into a minefield or going into a war zone. In a society that has a government that never voted for, we're witnessing an undermining of democratic structures.
Given the immediate reaction of people following the unpopular decisions made by the parliament previously, mass demonstrations did not descend on Syntagma Square as expected. But activists vowed their struggle continues against a government that has failed its people and the country where democracy was born. Jihan Hafiz for The Real News, Athens.